Welcome to the UDP Broadcast, a podcast where a group of gamers get together and offer somewhat informed and uninformed opinions on the gaming industry, games, and moral events lately. But that's us. I'm Luminary, your host, and I'm accompanied today by Imi, the Eternal Barcode.
Hello.
And the Nordic Cajun.
We back, baby.
Back from a long trip. Today, we're actually going to be talking about, and this hit the news, and it seemed pretty big because there's a lot of uproar over it. It's caused a lot of disruption. It's going to be modifications and microtransactions. Those are what we're going to tackle today. And to start off with, we're going to talk about modifications, specifically with VRChat. VRChat is implementing a anti-cheat system, and it's pretty common. It's the easy anti-cheat system as required by Epic, because I guess because it's on the Epic store. And it's been a long time coming, but it's also had a lot of lashback from the public, because when you allow modding on any platform, it invites quality of life improvements by the community. And in one fell swoop, they're going to disable everything. So, that being said, and I remember the scene transition this time, Amy. You didn't have to tell me.
I saw that.
We're proud of you.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yay! You get some round of applause.
Yeah.
Some of the mods that are actually being turned off, and mind you, when it comes to modifications, it's all quality of life, right? And whether it's network sex toys, or if it's as simple as adding a colorblind mode or closed captioning. And in VRChat, some of the major items that have been talked about that are going to be disabled because Easy Anti-Cheat is just going to turn it off is closed captioning for VRChat, OpenVR and FSR for upscaling, advanced safety prevents crashes by limiting character polygons, counts, and more. So that's going to be important for people who are on toasters. UI expansion. So now you've got a UI modification. That's really awesome. Make it easy for you. That's what it's about. And IK tweaks and improves full body tracking. So the biggest items here that I can identify that I think that should be discussed is before they implement this anti-cheat system, and they know what type of modifications that are being used, or at least they could have queried the public, and I think they did with their announcement, is try to come up with a solution for, I don't know, closed captioning. Like, somebody did it. Why can't it be implemented? They were working on other things. So what do you think, Cajun?
Well, anything that disrupts an entire system and you only give them a 24-hour heads up, like, oh, by the way, everything's broken tomorrow. It's not a good look. It's not a good look by far. And the entire thing about VR is it's about the mods. The thing does not exist without the mods. Like, majority of the games out there that are huge, especially on Twitch and everything, are geared around mods. Like, people are still watching people play games like Isaac and Slay the Spire because people are still continuously making mods for games like that.
You know, and that's a good point, Cajun. The thing about game development is that if you take into mods from the beginning, like for say example, Minecraft, that will carry your game so much further. And there have been a lot of successful games that have lasted for decades, like Neverwinter Nights. And, even though BioWare has officially stopped support for it, the community found a way to do public servers. One of the guys I work with, he actually runs one, which is kind of cool. But
Nice.
yeah, or Minecraft, for example. Could you imagine this day and age after release back in 2008, or at least beta 2008, and you're still hitting the same blocks and collecting the same items, and they finally added in-game? How many times can you kill the Ender Dragon? But without these modifications, how entertaining would that be? When do you think that would have died?
The same year.
Everybody's done all the things and set it down.
I can only blow up a server so many times with dynamite and then be done with it. It's just, no, I need something else to fuel my fire, you know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You can just use like item spawners to crash the server and shit like that.
But at the same time, you're just sitting there watching the same thing going over and over and over. It's like watching paint dry, painting it over the same color and watching it dry again. It's just, you can after a while, man. But like I said, it was done poorly. It was done absolutely poorly. They should have warned them way beforehand before they just cut the wire and everybody's stuff exploded. Like, I think y'all have the picture in there. 30,000 negative reviews overnight, almost.
Oh fuck yeah.
Man,
So
that's
when I
Like,
pulled that stat, that was about 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm just gonna reload the Steam page. Oh,
mm.
good. We're up to 29,681.
Ooh. Nah.
Yeah, the mostly positives went up a tiny bit, but it's overwhelmingly negative.
hmm
In the last 30 days, only 14% of all the 30,000 reviews has been good.
Hmm.
good job. Good job, boys. You did it.
That's
I guess.
insane.
I mean, we always try to say there's no such thing as bad publicity, but at the same time, it's like, at what point do you take the gun and not aim at your foot?
Well, I think a better approach would have been I mean, I think they took the right step of saying, hey, we're going to pull a plug on this stuff. And mind you, August 2nd, so like Monday, is when they're supposed to implement this. And they've already stuck their foot in their mouth and said, yeah, this is happening. So bite down on the pillow. Like, that's what's happening.
Going
But
in dry, Billy.
But I mean, this was also an opportunity to do that, but also listen to the community feedback for things that are useful to the community and try to implement those in the game. Like again, closed captioning, colorblind mode, just stuff that allows accessibility to their program. Like if they're going to exclude a whole user base for the hard of hearing, like or the visually impaired.
For a simple anti-cheat system that you could have easily taken a couple more months of research to find out how to implement it without breaking everything.
And that comes down to design choice too. If you really think about it, like here's an example. So, the Binding of Isaac, I believe, was just brought up. The Binding of Isaac has modding built in by design, and they allow you to interface with the game and write your own modifications via Lua scripts. So, what happens is it's almost like a game engine editor at that particular point, like a Unity or an Unreal 5. You actually have a set of tools that you can use that your program offers you, and you can manipulate the workings of the program by using these tools. Other modifications that were unintended, which would have been like, I don't know, StarCraft. Did StarCraft have mods? I can't remember.
It
I know
did,
that.
yeah. It had so many mods. Carbot Animations, they have an entire mod where they used their animation style to redo the entire game, and it is goddamn amazingly hilarious.
OG StarCraft or new StarCraft?
StarCraft 2.
StarCraft 2. Yeah, I'm talking about StarCraft. Like, I don't know exactly if that was actually built into the game, but one of the more prolific games that are out right now that is second to WoW is Defense of the Ancients, and that started off as a mod.
As a mod.
Yep.
And it sprung out an entire genre of gaming.
It did, and one such company is capitalizing on that pretty well, Riot.
Oh, man.
We'll talk about them another day, because damn that lawsuit.
Ooh, yeah, no,
Ooh, that's another kettle of fish all by
Hey.
itself. But yeah, but when the modding becomes so intricate and so involved in your game, though, you need to learn. What's the phrase? You need to read the room and embrace it.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what McMillan did with Binding of Isaac, since we keep talking about it. People just used to mod the game, and then he said, "Okay, I'll just put an entire mod into the game where y'all can just upload y'all stuff at will."
Yeah, pretty much.
And it brought that game back. He's brought that game back to life so many times. I forgot what expansion he's on now. He doesn't even care. He can sit back and watch people just build it on their own.
There was a conversation about that. I think one of his previous developers, I think he was talking about something, and his partner developer then was, "Why don't you just release another Binding of Isaac and just collect another $1 million?" And he's like, "Oh yeah," and that's what he did. That's why we have repentance. So,
Just it's like Tumblr all over again.
Indeed. I think what actually makes this really hard for VRChat to just turn it all off is because they don't have an application programmer's interface to actually do all of this stuff. So what people are doing, and if you ever get on YouTube and look up Zuli the Witch, who does Dark Souls and Elden Ring hacking, and has been doing so for decades. right? Well, decade. I can't remember. Whenever Dark Souls and Demon Souls was put out. But they pull out a hex editor and they read straight memory and they pull names and they modify traits and whatnot. So a lot of these mods will rely on the ability to modify the existing memory, which is probably where easy anti-cheat is going to turn everything off because it's not matching
Yeah.
the memory footprint.
So I suspect I haven't played VRChat. So someone in the comment section or chat will have to correct me, but I think what they're doing is waiting for the game client to. They're either modifying game client files to change how it works. So you're going to have continuity checks that are going to get failed, like CRC checks. Not that we trust CRC anymore, but you understand. So those will fail. And then if it's monitoring game space, they probably use an injector to modify game memory to load some of these mods. And if it's anything like Raft, the Raft modding community has a loader that you run, which then loads the executable for the game and then completely injects everything into RAM. So EAC is going to freak the hell out because all of a sudden everything's being injected into the game memory space when it's not supposed to be there. So it's going to start banning people left and right. I did check a little bit of the further information. Apparently, they are in one of the blog updates. VRChat is going to add some of the quality of life and accessibility issues or options into the game. But as you said, since they don't have an SDK, since they don't have APIs or public APIs, you can't make mods for it that are going to be EAC compatible. So shutting out an entire community is kind of bullshit if you think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody needs another Activision.
No.
Stairs in Black Ops from 2000, whatever the fuck that was.
Oh, jeez.
I have a hatred of them since Black Ops when they got rid of their SDK.
Man's got a hate boner going on.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I used to play Call of Duty 4 all the bloody time because all the goddamn mods, because they had an SDK. And you could play it, and they had Punk Buster, and Punk Buster was fine. I mean, it got false positives once in a while, but rarely. And when they released Black Ops, they were like, no SDK. Fuck you all. Dedicated servers? Fuck you all. And it's like, wow. You're an asshole. I'm not touching your product again as he plays WoW.
Right.
Yeah, and that's all inclusivity, right? Like, the thing is that you also open up a whole different can of worms whenever you allow your community to modify your game, and that has its upsides and downsides. Like, for example, VRChat, one of the biggest complaints that I was reading about was they would go through the trouble of trying troubleshooting the product, and it turns out that it was all due to some third-party mod doing something it wasn't supposed to, right? And this is on top of crashing down on some of the more malicious mods that capture keystrokes, allows people to take your model, take over your character, do unsavory things, and things like that.
Yeah, they were saying that some people had their accounts hacked from malicious mods and shit. I mean, my question at that point is, why the fuck does VRChat not have two-factor authentication? How are they authenticating? If they're authenticating via Steam, well, these people are idiots for not having Steam Guard because that's 2FA. Like, we're in a day and age where you need two-factor authentication, and not having it on anything is leaving yourself open to all kinds of problems. So if they're wanting to say that all these malicious mods are out there and people are stealing accounts and whatever else, it's like, why the fuck don't you have Steam Guard? If they're using Steam and if they're using their own login system, why the fuck does that not have two-factor authentication?
And the other thing is VRChat is not new, right? Like they know what's going on with their product. They should have taken and built some of it in. Like good developers would take that feedback. Like, I understand doing whatever it is they were doing is probably important to their shareholders and whatnot, but if you're going to exclude a whole community, your users are going to get dropped down. In fact, one of the articles that was posted up was talking about they crashed some of the other VRChat like programs, and just from signups once this came through, because they still allow those things. And the two-factor authentication conversation is actually a really good one, because You just don't do that. Like I don't think two-factor authentication by itself is enough. I think internet education and good practices, don't go
Yeah.
places you're not supposed to, is going to be key in keeping yourself safe. Don't download unsavory mods. Like, if so, do it on an isolated account where you don't give a shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's one thing to say don't go places where you shouldn't go. I mean, that's should be taught. You're absolutely right. But when it comes to mods and mod behavior, it may not necessarily be going to a location or a website or a URL or whatever that is unsavory. It's more that they can do what, or potentially do what was happening in Fallout 76 with player hacks, where and I saw this and it was fucking hilarious because I think it was the Spiffing Brit who did a video on it or somebody else. Basically, in Fallout 76, you could there was a hack that came out that allowed you to steal another player's inventory without them knowing. And at first, you had to visually see them, and then it got so broken that you didn't need to see the person at all, and you could just steal their entire inventory. And it didn't require the other person to do anything. It was all done within the game because uh, the developers kind of left the admin console enabled.
Oh, nice. Hey,
Yeah.
let me give you the keys to the plane. Here you go, bud.
Absolutely. So in Fallout 76, initially when it launched, the admin console and all the admin commands were available to any player who wanted them.
Holy
And
crap.
as long as you enabled the console, which required a little bit of work, you were able to access the full developer console. And it meant you could move shit out of people's inventories without them ever knowing. And if that's the case of something similar in VRChat where you don't even need the person to click on anything, you're just around them and, the system is that open and that broken, that makes me wonder, why haven't you put a little bit more effort into securing things? I mean, yes, you were probably not intending for mods, but at the same point, now that there's so many mods that you're about to shut off, why don't you make a public API and a public SDK so people can make EAC compliant mods?
Indeed. I have a way to interface with your engine.
Because if I'm not mistaken, through Steam, you have to have your mod cleared before it can go into the game anyway. So why not just make it to where that's the standard across the board and make everybody happy instead of putting acid on one group and letting the other groups do what they want to do? I don't see. Explain to me like I'm 5. Why is it so difficult for them to just say, "Hey, we're sorry. We're going to retract this, and we're going to actually do some research before we make the rest of the player base mad"?
I
Well,
think I got to double check, but I'm pretty sure EAC is a licensed product, so they may have it's either that or it's contractual, so they may have a timeline when to implement it. And I mean, if you've already paid for it, you're going to want to get it into your product as quick as possible to minimize any wasted money type of things. That's probably why. As he goes furiously checking how EAC works for licensing.
well, it's good handy stuff to know. I mean, don't get me wrong, like DRM type stuff and anti-cheats can get pretty crazy. There was a few incidents where anti-cheat type software has caused all kinds of havoc, like from reduction of frame rates to just downright unplayability of the entire game because it was just that invasive, like operated a different OSI layer or something and just didn't create a good product.
I really enjoyed Punkbuster. I thought it was a much better product, and I still do to this day. It's not used as often anymore, and I think it's on its way out the door, but I truly believe for the few false positives that would happen, Punkbuster was a much better option because EAC doesn't get a lot. And I've been in EAC enabled games and watched people cheat on some of the most generic cheats like speed hacks or aimbots. And EAC is like, no, you're cool. You're good. Whereas
Oh,
Punkbuster would have been like, sir or ma'am, you are in the memory space you're not allowed to be. Get the fuck out and have a ban.
Bye-bye.
got a story about that. Like none of it's bulletproof. It'll never be. And at the time, my brother and I were playing a game called Combat Arms, right? And you were talking about speed hacking and whatnot. One of the funniest ones and most infuriating ones I could think of that happened to me quite often in this game was OPK, or one position kill. So you can imagine what that is, and I'll tell you the experience. The match starts, and you're there. My brother's to my left. He spawned next to me. Fantastic. All right, we've got our guns. Not a big deal. Waiting for the match to start. And then it starts. And when you walk out, all of a sudden, through the walls, because, mind you, visually, you'll see the projectiles coming towards you. The walls started raining bullets, and people started dying. Like from
That's
the other,
amazing.
yeah. So I mean, and if you ever look at YouTube for one position kill in Combat Arms, it shows you what it looks like. They actually go above the world. I mean, inside of the game, it looks like they're just still standing there, but they go above the world and they stack all the players on top of each other, and they aim for the head. That's it.
Of
And they
course.
just pull the triggers. And of course, from your side, it looks like it's just raining death everywhere. And you're like, oh my God, because you see the projectiles just flying at you. But, you know, it's not near as entertaining on the cheater side. He just stands there and goes, well, I'm going to have a good ratio. So,
Another W in the column. Yep. I earned this one, boys.
well, you know, on this subject, what are some of your favorite hacks that you've experienced? And I mean, favorite is in like it was mildly entertaining.
Oh my fuck. So I've never played Counter-Strike, quote unquote, never. So my buddy, he plays Counter-Strike a lot. He sells a lot of pixels for a lot of money. He sold a knife skin for over $1,000 on the Steam auction house,
Ooh.
or whatever. I'm calling it the auction house because WoW is stuck in my head right now, so deal with it.
Zug zug.
Hashtag deal with it. Sunglasses. Anyways, so he regularly would play that. He used to run a server that made him actually quite a lot of money through ads and everything. And he was like, come try, CS:GO. I think you'll like it. It'll be really fun. And I was like, no, I don't want to do CS:GO because I hate it and it's a dumb game and I don't like how you have to buy your weapons throughout the game and you'll lose money. Fucking give me all the guns. And so the very first server we're in, the very first fucking match, and there's an aimbotter, and he's not even hiding it. He just fucking snap headshotted everyone. And it was the funniest thing because he jumped through a doorway, and there was like 4 or 5 of us in the room, and he just nailed all of us in the heads in the span of about a second, maybe a second and a half. I was like, you want to keep playing? Because I'm going to go play something else. He was like, this isn't a good example. I'm like, no, it's on par with all of CS:GO.
You either learn to accept it or you just become the problem.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, VAC is terrible for nailing people. EAC doesn't get them fast enough. The only thing that's ever been able to get people fast enough has been Punkbuster because it automatically would ban people. I love that because I used to play Soldier Fortune 2 way back in the day. So we're talking 2000 plus. And that thing, it would be like, oh, you're an aimbotter. And before you could even add an admin, because I used to be an admin on a server I used to play on, before you could even ban the person yourself, Punkbuster's like, no, get the fuck out. You're banned.
Swung the ban hammer before you could even open your mouth. I love it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then, like, VAC is like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go sniff glue in the corner.
I'm new. I'll get used to this place eventually. You're good to go. Have fun. Sorry for interrupting. Keep going. The craziest thing. I'm sorry. We used to play this game, Ring of Elysium, and this is not the funniest one, but this was the most blatant that I saw. We used to play it religiously. It was a fun game. It had for us. It had more interaction in terms of mobility, getting around the map. It was a lot more fun than the bigger ups like H1Z1 and PUBG and all that garbage. But it was a breeding ground for cheaters. And at least every match we ran into somebody that would shoot us through walls. One hit shots from across the map. We are behind cover on the other side of the island, and we see the guy. He blink, and all of a sudden he's in front of us. We're like,
Jesus.
okay, we're done with this. But the craziest one that I saw was actually, it was either in PUBG or H1Z1. Everybody was playing their match. It was calm, collected. Everybody was having a good time. And then you just see in the left-hand side, you just see this one guy killing everybody. You just see the kill count and the name going up and up and up until we died. And we don't know where this guy is. Upon further inspection, the man was sitting on a hill on the opposite side of the map, and he was just killing everybody. I don't know what cheat he had. I don't know how he got his hands on it, but he was having a good time pressing the click button. It was just insta kill no matter where you were on the map. It was like, okay, well, I'm going back to League.
Yeah, good times, good times. Yeah, so modifications. I think that depending on how long you want your life cycle for your game to be extended before you open source it for the community to figure out how the hell to fix it, should probably look to to put in modding support from the beginning. Period. Like,
Absolutely.
especially for multiplayer games, social games as such, like even if it's just client-side closed captioning or modifying your vision, so that way you can understand the world around you because you can't see certain colors. It's kind of important. That's pretty much the main takeaway here is it really could have been handled better by VRChat for sure.
So much better.
So I checked EAC's website. EAC's owned by Epic Games, by the way. So that tells you a lot right there. I mean, what? And when you go to the licensing tab, they don't give you any licensing information. You actually have to contact them with your first and last name, email address, game website, and a message. You're just doing a contact form, a contact us form, to get licensing information. Like, I just want to know what the fucking licensing costs are, because that would, to me, explain why they're so keen on implementing it, even when the community is like, please don't. So to me, the fact that EAC requires you to fill out their contact us form, that kind of tells me that the costs are really high for this software.
Sounds like it must be the same type of deal behind video game hardware manufacturers don't make money on the hardware. They make money on the licensing for it. And I bet you that's where it comes in there. It's just like, well, you're going to have to license our anti-cheat, and you don't really have a choice, because I don't think that Valve would have had an issue with it. Then again, they are a fully packaged product. They got to support it somehow. Speaking of Epic,
Ruh-roh.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna
Buckle up, boys and girls.
We're gonna use one of our favorite four-letter words, microtransactions. Oh man! So microtransactions, and the reason why this comes up is because Activision Blizzard King, reported back over $100 million in revenue from the mobile platforms in 8 weeks. That's second only to Pokemon Go, which did it in a week.
Okay. I'm going to have to put on my big boy pants for this one.
Go on.
Let's rewind the clock. Let's go back to, I believe, BlizzCon, was it 2 years ago when they actually announced this game? And the biggest meme was them saying, "Don't you guys have a phone?"
Oh my fuck, I remember that.
Because we all saw it, what was coming. We knew what was going to be going on in this game before it even hit the market. Blizzard was finding a new way to make its cash cow produce golden milk, because every other company, apparently in their eyes, was only making money through microtransactions. Now, let me be frank. I'm okay with certain microtransactions, because
yes, I will agree with that.
I refuse to play a game that's ad-based only. I would rather have them have microtransactions and not have you have to click a button to watch a video every 2 times you try to play the game. That kind of stuff drives me up the wall. So some microtransactions you need to let your game thrive. I'll give you that.
Some people count on that too. I can't tell you how many mobile games I've gotten, and every 5 minutes, like you said, get 2 ads. And they're like, for the low cost of $4.99, you could remove all of these.
Mm-hmm.
And still play them anyway, because it's an integral part of the game loop.
Oh yeah, just keep going and going and going. But when it comes to Diablo Immortal, we're not even gonna give it the right name. It got to the point, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you could play the whole game free to play, the main game. But if you wanted to do any post game anything, you were almost forced to buy into it because of how long it either took you to get to certain points post game, or people were already just jumping on board to get to the end game and already bought the stuff, and you were already behind the eight ball, as it were. But the thing is, we didn't want this game to begin with.
Yeah,
We didn't want this to happen. Everybody and their mother told them we did not want a mobile Diablo. We wanted Diablo fucking 4. Excuse my French.
absolutely.
we
I
wanted
totally agree
4.
with it.
We didn't want a mobile game, which is basically a rehashed Diablo, basically. And the fact that people still shoveled over that much money to Blizzard on a game they didn't even want is a counter production to the problem. You're feeding
Absolutely.
the fire which their penny pinchers wanted.
And that touches on some of the other things that we've talked about on this podcast, which is preying on oh gosh, now it escapes my brain. Addictive, playing on addiction, whether it's gambling or just that instant hit.
Escapism.
Yeah, escapism. Yeah,
We're back
Yeah.
to it, boys.
yeah. Here we go. Just a doo-doo-doo-doo. Here we're
Full
back.
circle.
But what's interesting is, mind you, I've never touched this game, and Blizzard does make great games, even though they licensed this out to another company to develop. But it's still their game, so I'm sure they had some hand in it. I think even some of the interviews said that was the case, so it did pass some sort of QA, right?
And the game itself looks gorgeous. I haven't touched it either, but from what I've seen, it's a very pretty game, especially for mobile standards.
Well, and people are still playing it too. So, if anything, even at the free-to-play rate, I mean, they're doing it right in the sense of the gameplay loop is fantastic, and people want to play it because it is fun and it's easy enough for them. Like all the reviews of legit reviews of Diablo Immortal that don't focus on the financial side of it say it is a pretty solid game. There's a few janky things here and there, but it's very well written and so forth and so on. And that's what draws you in because it's already got a big name on it. It's already working really well. So what do you do after that for people who still want to play? Well, you take the money. That's what you do. You just take you take the money.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn with Blizzard because, or not Blizzard, but just with microtransactions as a whole. When you make a game pay to win, which is what Blizzard has done with Diablo, because that is focused on PvP, you can unlock better weapons through spending money. So that is pay to win. And while the Mike Ybarra claims he's the Blizzard boss in charge of this whole thing, in an interview with the LA Times, he did claim that 99.5% of the content is free. That's all fine and good until we run into a situation where I can shell out a whole bunch of cash and kick the ever-living shit out of any other person who's just grinding it out. I prefer the way Valve worked with Team Fortress 2, which was all weapons are available from the beginning. So there's no advantage or disadvantage with weapons. It's all about the goddamn hats, and I have a lot of shiny hats. And I'm okay with that because it's just cosmetics. If I could be, playing any game that's pay to win, or sorry, pay to win, that has microtransactions that only gives me cosmetics, hell yeah, let's go. There was a game I used to play. I would always wear a set of antlers that replaced one of the headsets for this game, like one of the cosmetic headsets, with antlers. So fuck yes, I will spend money to wear antlers in a video game. Hell yes. But don't let me buy like super amazing weapons that make it completely unfair for someone else to play against me.
You know, and that's a conversation that's just going to. There's. I'm going to get rid of that bot. It's just not letting Crit Chicken speak. So, Crit Chicken for $2.99, we'll remove. No, I'm kidding.
low, low price.
Microtransaction.
Anyway, so and that's the big argument. Pay to win and pay to look good is two different things. And mind you, like take Anthem for example, they're like, yeah, all of our microtransactions is going to be all cosmetic. And what'd you get? You got different colors. That's what you got effectively. Like they had some okay stuff that they charged some money for, but it wasn't a successful shop because of what they implemented to be a microtransaction. Nobody wanted it, and those that did is like, well, you know, I could totally do an orange, you know, or something. But you take a game like Fortnite, and I'm sure Nordic can talk all day on this, and I watch my kids play it all the time. Now, if you tell me that I can play a game completely for free and shoot people, and I'm going to be, you know, one of 5 default characters, I'm like, okay, well, I like shooting people, let's go do that, right? But the moment the dude comes around the corner in a clown hat, with a banana hammock with frozen chainsaws for hands, you know, throwing rainbows and killing everyone, like that's pretty damn cool. And that's what that cosmetic attraction is, right? The ability to express yourself. Like in Fortnite, I have a demon. One of the older skins from like a couple years ago is a fiery demon with fire wings and all kinds of stuff. And it's a lot of fun. It really is.
I'm currently rocking Cammy from Street Fighter because Bay.
Yeah, well, they're doing a lot of licensed stuff now too, with like Spider-Man, John Cena, Batman, the Avengers, you name it.
It's John Cena.
The biggest thing, I don't know if it was officially announced or if it got leaked or something, but Goku and Vegeta are coming to Fortnite from Dragon Ball Z, and I cannot wait.
You know,
to hit somebody with a Kamehameha wave across the map, I just one time, just let me have it one time. That'd be great. I'd love it. Just come.
Well, they might, and I'll tell you why. Because if you remember when they did the Spider-Man one, they allowed web slinging and sliding all over the place. Remember that?
Yeah. And right now they have Darth Vader trolling about. You can kill him and take his lightsaber and go chop people up with it. It's great. They Fortnite. You gotta give them credit. Their model. They perfected. They're the League of Shooters, League of Legends of shooters, if I may, because take that back, reverse that. They're the Smash Brothers of shooters because everybody's there. Everybody's coming into Fortnite. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring up League, not that way because I messed up my segue, but
another cosmetic game.
Yeah, exactly. There's no like League of Legends and pretty much every gotcha game out there. You cannot buy something and it give you a true advantage of the game. Some animations and some skins can make the abilities a little bit harder to see, but that's purely cosmetic. It doesn't change how strong the character actually is. And that goes for shooting games, that goes for League, that goes for fighting games like the amount of stuff they've involved for Street Fighter and for Tekken 7. It's gorgeous, and that kind of stuff. People like look how much money they're making. They will shell out money like that left and right. Why you have to go the route of breaking the end game for people because you think you can make some more money off the top? 100 million is not nothing. 100 million is nothing to sneeze at, but that's a drop in the bucket compared to the purely aesthetic games out there.
Yeah, and if you think about it, and mind you, the Blizzard CEO in another article, was it Blizzard CEO? No, it was Blizzard CEO was talking about it, and how he considers it a great success, and by all rights it is, because it has captured people as far as like what's going on with Diablo Immortal, and it's continuing to grow. It's got great reviews. I mean, it was probably initially review bombed because, you know, fuck that shit, but at the end of the day, people who took the time to actually play it are like, you know, this isn't a bad game. There's been a lot of sensationalism, like streamers, big name streamers, taking and actually having a money counter and how much money they actually spent on the thing.
I watched those videos. I'd laugh. Was it what 20 minutes into the game till he got hit in the face for the first time where he had to buy money or buy something in the game? I
What?
think. What was his name? Oh, dang it, Lumi. I'll find him. Keep talking. I'm gonna go find him.
Okay.
He's just gone.
Yeah, just,
I'm on the case. Hang on.
Yes, hello.
hey, hold my coffee. I got to go look this up. Okay. So, I don't even know where I was going with this. Quick, what was I saying?
Asmongold. I found him.
Yeah.
Asmongold. Him. He I watched his first part of the of his little how much money will I spend on this game, and I think it was after the first 4 or 5 levels, it hits you with the first microtransaction.
The first one.
Before it slowly gets into you can buy the like they had the Epic Game Pass where you could just buy, you can earn the little stars and unlock things as you go. He found not too long after that first transaction, you could get the Diablo Pass, which like gives you better upgrades as you level up as you go. And I think he ended up spending a little under 1,000 just in the game before getting to the end game.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, and I know this is probably clickbait, but then he said he spent $100,000 on Diablo Immortal and said it's not that bad. I don't know if he did that or if somebody else did that, but $100K for a mobile game? Can I get a her?
Huh? I couldn't spend that much money.
I mean, to be fair, if I get to go back and see how much money I've spent on League skins, I'd probably be mad at myself too. But triple digits in
Yeah. So I thought it was bad when I know someone who has spent $5,000 on League of Legends shit. I can't fathom that.
Because there is a way. There is a way for League. I forgot what it was. My wife did it the other day. I said the other day. It was a couple of months back when we were still hardcore playing. There's a way to actually look up how much you spent in their shop just on their skins and stuff. And back in the day when we were all really into it, like every paycheck, we would be dropping like $60-$70 a piece. Not for us, because we got off on gifting skins to our friends. Like we would send them skins all the time, send each other skins all the time until we finally got the skins that we wanted. That was our joy. And one day she was like, I wonder how much I actually spent. When she found out, she looked like she was going to fall out of her chair.
Oh no!
It wasn't astronomical like Diablo here, but it was 4 digits. Now, granted, this was 4 digits over the course of 4 years of playing. This is no different than how much I probably spent in subscriptions alone to World of Warcraft and the like back in the day. But just to see that we threw this kind of money for aesthetics, it was, like I said, it was joyful for us at the time, but sitting back, we're like, damn, what else could we have done with said amount of money?
Jesus. I mean, I shouldn't complain too much because I do chase Space Barbie a little bit. And by Space Barbie, I mean all the ship skins in Star Trek Online. Now, I haven't hit $1,000. I can guarantee that.
No, we were well over that. Like I don't know. I don't want to know how much I've spent. I know she spent that much. I didn't look mine up because I was afraid. But I probably spend a good bit of money on games for little man in terms of that though. He and I play this game called Dragon Ball Legends, which is a gacha game. But he and I are huge Dragon Ball fans. So like once a paycheck, he'll come up to me and ask, Dad, I want to do a big summon. And it costs $8 to buy a summon in terms of their currency. And we'll throw $8 here and there. My man My man tried to be slick the other day. Yeah, he comes up and gives Mama the iPad. He had clicked on an $80 one.
Oh, gross.
Thankfully, she saw it before she put her fingerprint on there. But I was like, boy, you are getting too smart for your 6-year-old britches. You need to calm down.
And that's the other part about this microtransaction thing too. Back in 2012, 2011, 2010, somewhere around there, where touchscreen phones were becoming a thing, and the App Store and everything was really taking off. Microtransactions was a huge part of that. There was reports inside of the UK for some game involving the Smurfs. It was a Smurfs game. And their kid, because mind you, this is also the parents' fault for this as well, for giving their children a completely unlocked device that can spend money.
Correct.
But just immediately spent like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on Smurf berries.
Cool. That'd
What
be
the
a
fuck's a Smurfberry?
Well, the story is
their
still
currency.
the story is still the same, even with like some of the EA's games, any of their sports games. That's where they make the bulk of their money, whether it's FIFA or NHL or Madden or anything like that. They're selling access to players, and they do it in such a way where, and this is where things start taking an interesting turn with microtransactions, and that is the card pack mechanic with loot boxes. And we touched on that before too. Like
That's the other game I'm addicted to, freaking South Park Phone Destroyer. I have a problem.
So microtransactions takes on many forms, and there are some that do it really right. Like for as much as I'd hate to say it, but Fortnite does it right. It does it right very well. League of Legends does it right. They do it really well. Apparently,
Team Fortress 2 and all the goddamn hats.
Oh yeah, like I said,
and the fact that the way Fortnite has it set up is like you can buy stuff in the shop, but it's only there temporarily. That's what really puts people like on edge to get it. Like it's only here for 12 hours. You better get it now. That's been their model since day one, and it's been effective.
Well, yeah, until they release it from the vault.
Is great. Yeah, and cosmetics are great to make money off of, especially when you limit supply and access to them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. Like, you want to do that? Great.
Nintendo is a big offender of that too. I'm sure you are aware of amiibos, mind you. These aren't microtransactions, but might as well be.
I'm looking at my Wario amiibo right now.
Yeah, I've got Palutena sitting on my desk right now.
My pride and joy. I found him in a flea market. That's right.
That's the best way to
I
get
don't
them.
have anything cool like that. I do have 2 plush Zerglings from Carbot Animations.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
A Rage Lot with glowing eyes that glow in the dark.
Oh, very nice.
Sitting on my shelf above my desk.
Very cool. So yeah, the idea of manufacturing scarcity is what plays into a lot of that, right?
Yes.
Be it physical, and Fortnite doing it with, this skin's available for 6 weeks, so you better cough up. And oh, by the way, we have a battle pass. It's going to be up for the next, I don't know how many weeks their seasons last.
Couple of months.
Yeah, and this is on top of, you could totally play the free season pass. I mean, but what sells the other season pass is all the cool shit you get with it. It has no game altering effects other than, like I said, well, now you're a banana hammock clown with chainsaws for hands, wear a floppy shoes. I mean, that's
nothing feels worse than getting sniped by a blue banana.
That was brilliant. The skins that change. Never once did I ever think I'd want to play a game where I am a half-peeled banana that goes brown the further along in the game that you get.
Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. God damn. That is a meme that I should not have brought up because that should have died years ago.
My kid loves that meme. He sings it every now and then too, and he's 2020 baby over here.
Do you watch it with Brian Griffin, or do you use the old school banana?
Oh no, we go old school. He doesn't know about Family Guy yet.
Oh well, you gotta fix that.
He's getting there. He's still in his Five Nights at Freddy's phase. Let him get through that first.
Oh yeah, definitely. So before we put a close to this, what is the most embarrassing or proud microtransaction you have actually invested in that has either served you well or found out it was useless? Give us your microtransaction story. Let's go with Mr. Cajun first.
Oh God. Best or worst or fruitful? Let's think. Because I've done plenty between the games that we played. I was explaining a little bit to Amy about how Joyce and I used to throw skins at people back in the day, but it was for it was for Dragon Ball Legends that me and Harrison play. He had just started getting really into it. He hadn't started playing on his iPad yet, but the way we don't call it summons, we don't call it anything like that. I always told him, "Hey Harrison, I need some good luck." That's what I called it when I had him come touch the screen and summon the thing. That's what it is now. So, Dad, I want to do some. I had 3 good lucks. Let's go. That's our hype. One day they released 2 very exclusive skins for the new Dragon Ball Super show. It was Goku Black and a duo summon of Trunks and his girlfriend Mai. And I told him, if you do this summon and you get this, I will get you 1,000 Robux in Roblox, because he's still big on that right now. So I paid the $8 for the crystals so he can do the summon. That little turd on the first pull got the Goku Black. The first pull. Now, the second pull, he got the other one. So I had to double down on the bet. And he
Rip
was
you.
me, but the pride that was on that child's face, 110% worth it. To this day, my favorite moment with transactions. That'll go down in history for me.
No doubt. Now, Amy, anything interesting on your side as far as microtransactions are concerned? I know that you've done a lot of Star Trek, but let's hear what you find most impressive, terrible, or fruitful.
I'm just actually trying to find the price of it, because I did just buy a whole bunch of Space Barbie shit. So what I mean by Space Barbie, for those of you who don't know, Star Trek Online doesn't have end game content similar to like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, like raids and huge storyline. They do have individual missions and individual episodes as periodic releases. But the main thing with that game is spending a fuck ton of money on getting the newest and most amazingly awesome looking skins for your goddamn ships. And I will absolutely spend money on that. And I'm trying to find actually what one of these bundles was, because I did just buy the 12th anniversary Terran bundle for Star Trek Online, and I know it was not cheap. I think it was around $100 or more.
This is why I never got into. I wanted to, but I made myself not get into EVE Online, because I would have done the same exact thing. Because I like big explodey ships and being a space pirate.
Okay, so it
Drum roll.
I don't remember if I got it on sale. Let me run calc.exe.
Oh God,
shit's gonna get real painful real fast.
My man's got to do math. Oh God.
Oh yeah, I gotta do some goddamn math. One thing I can give credit for Arc Games that publishes the game, they don't change. They don't give you a discount on the more premium currency you buy. It's always the exact same amount. So that divided by 500. So in Canada, 500 Zen, which is their premium currency, will cost you $5.68, which works out to $0.01136 or 1.136 cents per Zen. Okay, fine, great, fantastic. If we multiply that by the sale price of 13,125 Zen, that was $150.
I could hear your puckering just as you were typing that.
Now, if you weren't lucky enough to get it at that price, you were looking at a grand total of 17,500 Zen, which would cost you $198.80. I don't remember. I'm actually just I logged into my account to look at my purchase history because uh, they're nice enough that they actually log that sort of thing, so you can always tell your purchase history, which is good. Um, but it was a lot. I think I got it on sale, but even then, that's a shit ton of money. Like, damn.
My wallet hurts for you.
Yeah, and the worst part is I have bought a few expansions. One of the expansions cost me $200 because I wanted the Dominion expansion that came out, or that was fairly old actually, had been out for a while. But you got 3 Dominion ships, you got a bunch of bridge officers, you got a bunch of cool like skins and shit. So I spent about $200 on that. I'm pretty sure I got this one, pardon me, on sale for $150. All told, I've probably spent near $1,000, but I've been playing since 2018. When I got back into it, I originally started back in 2012 when the game was much, much weirder and more annoying to play.
May God day dawn.
Yep.
Dude. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it because I just got finished dumping down almost $300 on World of Warcraft. So
You know, my girlfriend did the same thing.
so it was just like, well, I could use the elite edition of everything, and oh, look at that, I get extra bonuses if I pay for 6 months in advance. Okay, so I've got like 8 months of WoW.
Yeah. You know how much the Dragonflight expansion is in Canadian dollars for WoW? We're gonna go into some serious World of Warcraft shit for a second.
Can you explain it to me in freedom fractions?
I don't know. Well, if we compare the pricing based strictly on your country of origin, for me it costs $105 for the elite Dragonflight expansion. How much does it cost in US dollars?
Oh gosh, I'd load up BattleNet, but I didn't want it to like make noise. I think taxes and everything, it was like 97 just for it. It's 97 US dollars.
Okay, so it's still cheaper to buy it in the US. So my girlfriend actually bought me Dragonflight, and she bought me Shadowlands, and yeah, apparently that's what I'll be doing for the next few months.
And the barcode was never seen again. Da-da.
Well, at least we're gonna be leveling. And she was asking me earlier today what server my Demon Hunter was on, and I told her, and she's like, okay. And then moments later, she's like, so I did a thing, and now we've got 2 Demon Hunters on the same server. Because
No,
Very nice.
they're cute.
So, just to wrap things up, mine's real quick. Back when I was playing League of Legends, the best microtransaction that I think that I have ever spent. And this was back when League of Legends, where you could build AP or AD or attack. What was it? Ability? Was it ability points?
Ability
power?
points, yeah.
It was like ability power or attack power. So either AP or AD. Where you could build a whole character completely back asswards and just wreck with it because you don't expect it. I think my favorite was attack speed AP Kale, and I bought her fancy. Remember that legendary skin they came out with?
Mhm.
One of my favorite skins on the planet. And it was just ridiculous because with attack speed, with some of the old weapons that they had, along with the fire, you were just shredding through literally everything. You could walk down mid, somebody shows up and take out their entire team. You see a little puff of smoke in the jungle because, like, their jungler just died just from being in the cone of influence.
Who's that stupid Scarecrow character?
Fiddlesticks.
I have surprise party Fiddlesticks. That
Yes,
dude
me
is
too.
hilarious.
So
Like-
Fiddlesticks and Heimerdinger were the 2 I played for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Lumi, they redid Fiddlesticks, his surprise party skin in their new remake.
Uh-huh.
Greatest dance on the planet.
Well, it was already funny because you heard that toy and you're like, there's a scarecrow and confetti's everywhere and people are dying. It was amazing. So,
Yep. Death by balloon animal.
well, we're about to push over our time here. So, Cajun, what you got coming up?
Let's see. Well, I'm definitely not making my record for the month of July, mostly because the way work has been, I haven't been able to concentrate on my content the way I wanted to. But hopefully, now that we got the hires back at work that we're supposed to be having, August is looking a lot brighter. So I might rehash it for a birthday goal. Outside of that, I'm just looking forward to doing a lot more on my free time. I'm tired of not letting my hobbies be hobbies. um, let me throw in a quick story from our trip because I've been dying to tell this story all day.
Go ahead.
It was the story of how the Nord almost died by wife. We went to the water park at Legoland, and it's a water park. People are in swimsuits. Things happen. Well, we were going to put more sunscreen on in the locker room area, and while we're doing our thing, I just hear her go, "Ugh." I'm like, "What's wrong, babe?" She goes, "I don't understand. This is a kids' park. How could someone come here and wear a thong bikini?" I had two options at that point. I could turn around and look at what she was looking at and embrace death. Or I could do what I did and made locked on eye contact and said, "Babe, I will take your word for it, but like Sid the Sloth Sled, I choose life." And she looked at me like she was gonna still hit me. I was like, I didn't look. I'm free. I didn't fall for your trap, honey. Sorry. Yeah, that's how I felt. I felt the kiss of death in her eye. That's why I was like, yeah.
Lol, get wrecked,
Nice.
nerd.
All right. Amy, what have you got coming up? More Star Trek?
Star Trek Online. I did just get the new summer festival ship. It is basically a flying saucer, completely out of the 1950s style. And when you activate a special feature, you can't move anymore. You become very stationary, but you have you turn yourself into a giant space jellyfish, and I goddamn love it.
Yes.
So I got that. I got Shadowlands in WoW to play with my girlfriend. That's going to take up a lot of my time. And I'm still shit posting over on Twitter at twitter.com/IME21. You will see me making fun of certain government official accounts that may or may not be involved in the illegal occupation of another country. What?
Whip it. Whip it good. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, actually, one of the brain dead Shiba Inus made that video, and it was fucking hilarious because it's a whole bunch of us brain dead Shiba Inus.
It's the greatest. And of course, I will continue to work on this podcast and bringing the best content out I possibly can while still adulting and maintaining my entire life. So, and I really love doing this. This is like by the best hobby ever, by the way, you two. I highly recommend running a podcast.
Don't tempt me, Frodo.
And now that we're at the end of this, I do want to call out that Amy has put together a very well formatted information sheet for the crap we talked about tonight.
Oh, it was gorgeous. It helped so much keeping my brain in check. It was great.
Yeah, I removed the autosave setting from the Word document I had set up. So I was like, well, Amy's done this. And so good job, dude. That was absolutely fantastic.
Yay, I did something useful.
Always useful all the time. So other than that, should you want to follow us on our socials, it's at the Nordic Cajun on Twitter. It's twitch.tv Nordic Cajun. TikTok is at the Nordic Cajun, your D&D dad. And
that's right, baby.
Amy's sitting on Twitter.
Don't say D&D dad.
Amy's sitting on Twitter at IME21, as he mentioned before. And if he decides to create YouTube content again, it's going to be at IME Gaming on YouTube.
You got it.
And of course, you can find me here at this home. You can find me on YouTube and YouTube Luminary Weekly, Twitch Luminary Weekly. It's all the same. And every once in a while, my old ass is trying to get used to Twitter. So, what is this? Retweet? What is this? I don't exactly. Oh, what? Wait, it's making noise.
I'm so old.
Yeah, I need a nap. It's too much.
We have a NyQuil.
But other than that, if you're watching right now, all the socials and podcast links are down below. I'm going to try to have this all wrapped up by Sunday night and have it out for your morning drive on Monday morning, by Wednesday at the latest. So you're going to get it this week. Anything else anyone wants to add? We covered a lot of good ground today.
We did. This was a fun one. I'm glad we finally got to tackle microtransactions. I cannot wait to see what we come up with next.
Wait until we finally tackle the grand NFT episode. Like there was a, just as a teaser for those who might want it, is apparently GameStop came out with an NFT of what looks like somebody jumping out of a building, and it looks straight out of like a 9/11 photograph. So
what?
Yeah, isn't that exciting?
I halfway expect you to say it was the video of the Kermit the Frog puppet jumping up the thing. I didn't think it was going to be something real like that. Holy crap!
Well, I mean, I have no idea. It's GameStop. They do weird stuff. Activision Blizzard owns it. So it's whatever, right?
But yeah, okay.
I'm not okay with it, but again, a topic for another time. Other than that, thanks for joining us. Please give us a listen to at anchor.fm or Spotify for the UDP broadcast. We're available on all major podcasting platforms, and this VOD will be edited and put up on my YouTube channel as of Monday morning. Other than that, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for listening, and have a wonderful week.
So long, everyone.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.